Most people have heard of the keto diet, but have you heard of the lazy keto diet? Not making any character judgments here, but we'll break down the diet. I'll give you my analysis as a doctor and a nutritionist. When you talk about a keto diet, what that basically refers to is a diet that's very high in fat, so about 75% of calories come from fats, saturated fats mostly. Then about 20% will come from protein, and that's generally a lean type of protein, and then only 5% from carbs. Another way of looking at it is that most classic and strict ketogenic diets basically cap the number of carb grams per day at 25 to 50 grams of carbs per day. When someone eats a diet that's high in fat and very low in carbs, eventually your body switches over from its primary source of fuel being that of carbohydrates, which are broken down to sugar. It switches to breaking down fat. And it's been extensively studied in the nutritional science and medical literature, and it is effective for rapid weight loss. As a nutritionist, as well as a doctor, I generally say for a diet to work, it needs to have 3 S's. It needs to be safe, it needs to be simple, and it needs to be sustainable. In general, this lazy keto diet is basically low carb, higher fat and protein, but doesn't involve counting calories or really focusing too much on those 3 macronutrient groups, which are proteins, fats, and carbs. You have to find what works for you, your lifestyle, your weight goals. Some people are on a particular way of eating because they want to avoid weight gain. Others are trying to lose weight. When you put the weight loss people into one category, you really do a disservice, because some people are trying to lose 5 pounds, some people are trying to lose 50 pounds, and some are trying to lose 100 pounds or more. If lazy keto sounds like it's for you, I would give it a shot. There are some groups of people that should use caution when following lazy keto or any diet. They include pregnant women, anyone with a history or current eating disorder, anyone with type 1 diabetes. You want to talk to your endocrinologist, your nutritionist, whoever helps you manage your eating style with respect to your blood sugar. Teenagers, kids really shouldn't be engaged in any kind of rigid, structured diet for the goal of weight loss unless advised by a medical professional. So my tips for someone who would be interested in lazy keto or keto is, first of all, drop the name, drop the terminology. Instead, focus on the big picture goal here. What style of eating might be right for you, and what are your goals? If your answer is low carb, low sugar, generally lean protein, higher healthy fat, I don't really care what you call that. It's just really getting a list of foods or meals that fit that criteria and trying to eat that way more days than not. Do your research. That might involve reading. It may involve a one-on-one encounter, either in person or virtually, with a nutritionist or dietitian. There are plenty of scam diets out there that promise rapid weight loss, but they're not safe and they're not sustainable long term. I don't believe necessarily in counting calories for most people, but there are some numbers that I think are important to keep in the front of your mind. One of them is added grams of sugar recommendations per day. For women, according to the World Health Organization, it's no more than 25 grams of added sugar per day. For men, it's 37 grams of added sugar per day. Second number that I think is really important is protein. Protein grams is a weight-based calculation. It is not the same for everyone, so it depends how much you weigh and how active you are. For the average person, it's around 1 gram per kilo of body weight per day. Do that weight-based calculation for you, for your activity level, and then look up what your favorite foods are and get a rough tally of how much protein you're actually getting. Last tip, eat from the farm, not the factory. Anything that has a shelf life generally comes packed with preservatives and chemicals that are not helping your body, and in some cases may actually be doing harm, even if we don't understand the full extent of that harm. So as much as possible, you want to eat natural, unprocessed foods.